Good Friday evening, folks. Here we go. We're watching snow breaking out on radar from southwest to the north and east between 7 o'clock this evening and 10 o'clock. By 11 o'clock, I think most of us are seeing some snow. Yes, even in northeastern North Carolina, I think everybody starts with snow, and then we'll watch the transition line try to develop as we go through the overnight well to the south and east. Overall, snowfall totals in the range of 2 to 5 inches. There could be locally higher totals as well, depending on the snowfall rates, which could approach and surpass 1 to 2 inches per hour. That will also lower visibilities during the overnight tonight. So once you get in tonight, just hunker on down and enjoy the snow evening and snow day tomorrow. It's going to be a nice period of time. If there was a snow day, this is the best time for it to happen because, no morning commute tomorrow if you don't have to work weekends. And then you get that buffer day on Sunday where they can clear the roads and make sure everything's good for snow and work on Monday. Not bad at all. By the way, that snow tapers off, I think, by the latest 9 a.m. Saturday morning. Satellite and radar imagery, it's a large system, but it's a progressive system. It's in and out of here within 12 hours. It's affecting most of the southeastern parts of the U.S., of course, warmer to the south. A widespread snowstorm, though, off to the north into the Carolinas and into the Virginias as well. Local radar here is already showing it breaking on out, and you're looking at this at face value, thinking, well, it's already snowing in northeastern North Carolina. This snow is falling from the clouds. Certainly, radar is picking it on up. It's shooting at an angle, at an elevation, so it's picking it up aloft. But it's likely not reaching to the ground, at least what we're seeing out here in northeastern North Carolina just yet, because it's falling into a dry air mass. We've got dew points down in the teens, so it's falling and evaporating, something we call virga. Now, what's going to happen here is that virga is actually going to be a process that helps to bring temperatures down to below freezing as that snow breaks on out, enhancing our snowfall total, something called evaporative cooling. We've got temperatures in the mid-30s, dew points in the teens. Dew points will come up, temperatures will come down as the column of air saturates over the next few hours. So modeling here shows the cloud cover thickening on up. I think this is a little bit lagged behind in terms of when the snow comes out. I think we're seeing it snowing a little earlier, maybe an hour or two earlier than what you're seeing here on the maps. But overall, I think we're all snowing by 10, 11 o'clock tonight. And again, as I mentioned, even in northeastern North Carolina, it will be cold enough at the start that we see it starting off as a burst of snow. Then past midnight, of course, as the storm system intensifies a little bit, we'll begin to watch the development of what we call a warm nose develop, or it's a layer of warm air above freezing air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere that leads to that transition from purely snow over to a mix of sleet. And then if that warm layer is thick enough, we would see some freezing rain or even some plain old rain if that warm layer erodes the cold that's hunkered in at the surface. But here's that rain snow line, 130, hugging the state line. And modeling here, been very consistent on this point, by the way. It holds it there. It doesn't lift it north of the area. So that leads me to the thinking that more areas to the north and west will see the higher end of the snow totals here before everything wraps up. And it may, that rain snow line may work it into Norfolk, but on the tail end, as everything gets on out of here and after we've already achieved snowfall totals of 3, 4, 5 inches in a lot of areas. By 4:30 tomorrow afternoon, winds out of the north and west, sky will have cleared, temperatures above the freezing mark, so we will get some melting tomorrow. And then as temperatures dive right back below freezing tomorrow night, we're going to see refreezing and icy spots redeveloping. So could we see a warm nose develop? Well, just to refresh ourselves on the different types of winter weather and the profile of the atmosphere in those types of scenarios, when we've got completely cold air from cloud base to surface, you get all snow, right? That's how we'll start in most areas. When you get that warm nose to start to develop, you get that narrow band of temperatures above freezing, about 5,000 feet up in the air. And that leads the snowflake that falls as a snowflake, melts, but doesn't melt fully, and then refreezes into a sleet pellet before it reaches the ground. If that warm layer is thicker, the snowflake fully melts into a raindrop and then hits an area of sub-freezing temperatures at the surface, and that's when you get the freezing rain. So I think we will see sleet, and maybe some areas see some freezing rain, especially closer to the coast. So how can we forecast if we will in fact see a warm nose develop? Well, we have our computer models, and they let us look at and examine each layer of the atmosphere. And for this particular situation, the layer of atmosphere that's most important to look at is the 850 millibar or the 5,000 foot level temperatures, cloud level, okay? So what I have drawn on here is the line that delineates freezing temperatures. South of it, 32 and above. North of it, cold enough to support snow from cloud to ground. Watch as we go through here, 5,000-foot temperatures. We go through the overnight, and we see that rain-snow line or the freezing line at 5,000 feet make it to the state line and then kind of become stationary there and even retreat back to the south. So again, that leads me to the thinking, as I mentioned, why we may see a little more snow, higher totals to the north and west. So we've taken that into account in our snow forecast map. 3 to 5 inches here, which I think it may be on the conservative side. We may see some higher totals than that, but a steep decrease in snow totals the farther south and east you go. There's going to be a sharp gradient here because of the introduction of some sleet that flattens the snow totals, and we see less as a result. Even more so, farther to the south and east, there may be a slushy inch, and we get that mix, that mess developing in northeastern North Carolina. Now, it is within the realm of possibility that that rain-snow line stays even farther to the south, and these areas get higher totals as well. So this will dance around here, what we call nowcasting, over the next 12 hours as we're actually forecasting and watching the system. I want to share with you all the different computer models and their runs on the snowfall estimates. We'll start with the NAM, okay? Notice here as we go through these, I'm going to go through them rather quickly because the sense here is that there is a consensus. There's good agreement. So there's the NAM. Here's the Euro, similar, right? Here's the GFS, similar, that swath of higher totals. And then we get into the shorter range models here, the HER, similar. And then, of course, the NAM, as you just saw in the graph, is right up there as well with some higher totals in that same general area. So that's something we're going to watch. I mean, good consistency here is right in line with the storm system coming on into the picture over the next few hours. We start off cold tomorrow, brief rain-snow mix, depending on where you are, and then it's out of here. We clear things out by the afternoon hours, a little bit breezy. Temperatures do go above freezing, so we get the melting, and those temperatures dive right back down below freezing. We see refreezing pretty much each morning for the next couple of mornings. I wouldn't even be surprised if we do get pretty good snow totals here, that with the refreezing Sunday night into Monday, there may be some delays out there Monday morning. So just keep that in mind. Despite air temperatures getting well above freezing in the afternoon, we may have icy spots even Monday morning. And then a long stretch of sunny, dry weather, cold weather, though, by midweek before we start to moderate temperatures again come Friday with highs shooting into the mid-40s.